working for you. KOMO 4 News starts right now.
A killer on the city council who admits his crime.
The military teaches you very well how to kill without second thought.
A stunning revelation rocking a small town.
It surprised me. I was shocked to hear about it.
His dark past uncovered only after being elected twice.
The town of Pacific is just learning one of their city councilmen murdered his wife decades ago.
So how could a killer be put in charge of shaping the city's future?
KOMO 4 problem solver John Humbert went to Pacific to find out.
How you doing tonight?
Living in the spotlight isn't easy, and two-term Pacific Councilman Gary Hulsey knows that well.
One thing I'm not is I'm not a liar.
But Councilman Hulsey is also a convicted felon, a murderer who stabbed his wife to death. The problem solvers pored over 34-year-old court records to uncover the crime. In late October of 1978, charging documents say police came to the Hulsey home and found him staggering outside shirtless with blood across his chest. He asked for a shirt, a light for a cigarette, and then told the officers he killed his wife, Darlene. They found her on the couple's blood-soaked waterbed with a hunting knife sticking up from a rib cage. The officers took him into custody, and though he was legally drunk, Hulsey confessed everything. His lawyer made him later plead not guilty by reason of insanity. Now, 34 years later, I asked Hulsey if he was insane in that moment.
The definition of insanity, I don't know whether I knew. I don't recall what happened that night.
Hulsey is also a Vietnam vet, and the memories were tough to shake.
I used to drink myself into oblivion so I wouldn't have to remember my dreams or have dreams or nightmares.
He says some damage can't be undone.
The military teaches you very well how to kill without second thought.
Hulsey blames PTSD and alcohol for the murder, but admits he has few memories of that night.
I remember calling the authorities. I remember being cold.
State doctors did not find him insane, but that he had, quote, a long history of episodes of violence. And in their final opinion, this defendant is dangerous and does require institutional control.
Is that fair of where you were at that time?
No.
Hulsey was found guilty of second-degree murder and sentenced to 20 years in prison in 1979. He was granted parole only 8 years later. He regained his rights to vote and then won office in Pacific in 2007. And until now, nearly no one in Pacific knew, including other members of the city council. Chair Leanne Geyer has mixed feelings.
It surprised me. I was shocked to hear about it, but I don't think it makes me fearful of him or uneasy about sitting with him on council.
Councilman Josh Putnam has seen no signs of trouble.
Rational, not violent, has been a productive member of the council.
Former Mayor Howard Erickson disagrees.
And I just don't think that we should be letting people out of prison to serve on the city council in any city, any state, any country.
Geyer has one lingering question.
Okay, so he was given back his rights, but you can still run for a public office?
We found that the state sentence review board said Hulsey fulfilled the terms of his supervision and parole. The only restriction was that he couldn't possess firearms. It's perfectly okay for him to vote and hold office. That right was given to him in January of 1992. Yet 8 months later, he was busted for soliciting a prostitute. Under the law, that conviction also had no effect on his voting status or his eligibility for city council. Unlike a job application, local law doesn't require candidates to disclose any criminal past.
Do you feel that your past should be something that voters should be concerned about?
I don't think so. A lot of people naturally will.
Whether it was booze, war trauma, or something darker we can't understand, some truths can't be buried.
We can't change history. If there was anything I could do to go back and change that one night, even if it cost my own life, I would do that.
Now Hulsey won't run for another term in office after this 4-year tenure is up. He tells me he wants to spend more time with his family and live a regular life the right way. John Humbert, KOMO 4 News.
Thank you, John. Mother